Welcome back. My name is Shauna and this is Making Everyday Magic. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are currently on the summer break between our 4th and 5th year of homeschooling, and because it is summer, because it's kind of that natural break in a school year, I just want to talk with you about a few things that I feel like can hopefully help some of you. So today I want to talk with you about the whys, why we homeschool. But I want this video to be a little bit different. I want this to be a little unique in the sense of, please, when you watch this, I'm going to tell you what my whys are. Please scroll down and tell me your whys. And I don't care if you think they're trivial. I don't care if you think they're not good enough. My goal with this specific video is to share with anyone who is struggling, anyone who is questioning their decisions, anybody who is jumping off the diving board into the wonderful world of homeschooling. Whatever their reasons are, whatever their whys are, I want that mom, that dad, that grandma, that guardian, that person who's making this decision to feel good about their decision, to know that if the reason is so simple as you don't have to tie shoes in the morning, that reason is good enough. I want to normalize that there are 1,000,010 reasons. There's an infinite number of reasons why you could choose homeschool, why it could benefit your family, and I'm going to share with you what my whys are, but please, please, please share with me your whys. Share with the group your whys, why you homeschool. And guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. A little bit later in this video, I am going to be sharing with you, I got a product box sent to me. It's called Knowledge Crate. First, let me show you this, and then later, I'll be showing you the amazing things in this box. But for now, let's start with the whys, why you homeschool. Now, I intentionally did not script this video because I want to have a very genuine list of my whys. I feel like if I script this out, then I'll be really trying very hard to make that list good enough. And in that respect, I feel like it will not be as genuine as I'm hoping for here. I have posted a video similar to this before. What I want from this, what I'm hoping you will do for me is share. If you have a reason that maybe you don't want to publicly share, will you send it to me in a DM over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic, and I will happily share your why anonymously if that makes you feel better. Please, guys, please share. This is a community. This is a growth, a real surge this year in secular homeschooling, and I'm hoping that we can really get there. Now, it's traditionally thought that, at least here in America, especially in the South, that many people will homeschool because they don't feel like public school adheres to their values at home, their religious preferences, maybe they don't want evolution taught, things like that. Secular homeschoolers homeschool for different reasons. I don't have a religious reason for homeschooling. I don't worry about worldly things that my child would be taught. I am not stressing that they'll find out that teen pregnancy exists or that homosexuals are real and in the world. That's not a concern that I have. My why for homeschooling, why we initially started out on this path. Well, I can tell you about specifically to my child, but one of the seeds that I feel like was planted very early in my perception of public school. I had a wonderful, wonderful experience in public school, gifted and talented classes, student council, things like that. I had a wonderful experience, very involved. I have younger brothers who are 4 years behind me. They are twins and they are boys. And I feel like right at the age when they were coming in to elementary school, we got rezoned and went to a different school, and it was a different school than I had gone through, and so my parents didn't really have those same connections to the staff, to the teachers. I think part of the change is what prompted my younger brothers took a very different path through schooling, and it was the path, and it was very common. It was kind of in that mid-90s where, you know, there was an influx of ADD and ADHD diagnosis. There was an influx of Ritalin usage. There was an influx of all of these things, and I genuinely feel like I mean, our report cards, our evaluations would say the same things. Sit still or won't sit still, talks too much. And theirs said won't sit still, talks too much. Whereas me being a girl and coming through a few years earlier, I feel like it pushed me into the gifted and talented program, whereas my brothers being a little bit behind and a little bit more in that medicated world of behavioral modification, and being boys, I feel like that pushed them a little bit more toward taking an alternate education path. And so I feel like my kind of seeds of looking at the world a little bit differently in terms of public education started there. I recognized that our paths could have gone very differently had there been a different approach to their education and my education. They very easily could have gone 180 degrees opposite. And I feel like that just kind of changed the arc of life a little bit. I feel like had things been handled a bit differently, the outcomes would have been quite different. And so I recognized very early on that kids were being medicated, that there was this expectation that you needed to get 30 kids to sit quiet in a classroom for success. I recognize that. I mean, genuinely teachers need to do that, but I feel like I kind of got this little bit of a seed for wanting something different for my own children very early on. Now, as my oldest went to preschool, we did a Methodist Mother's Day Out program, and they focused so heavily on kind of Montessori principles, on the principles that you learn through play, that children are learning when they're playing, that they don't need to sit still, that they don't need to do a workbook to learn. And I really love that approach, and I feel like it best fosters my children. I really genuinely do. I love the program. I love the teachers, love everything about it. Well, as we were going through this program, my husband and I, we are big learners ourselves. And I feel like that set us up to just naturally kind of be more teachers to our children, if you will. And so Amelia knew her letters and numbers and letter sounds and had started to read in preschool. And so it was like she was already a little bit ahead. And so in discussing with my husband from very early on, she's ahead. I want to keep her there. There may come a time when that levels out. I'm not pushing her to be ahead. She just kind of inherently is, based on the way we've done things, the way she's received things. It just is what it is. And so a big why for why we homeschool is that I just wanted to keep kind of trucking along and keep doing things that suit her learning style best. She learns great through apps. She learns great moving around. She learns great out in the world. You can tell her things, read things, yada, yada. She doesn't necessarily learn amazingly from sitting still. However, I know that you literally have to train to be able to sit still. And I know that that's a life skill. So we do work on that. But as far as the whys of starting to homeschool, that was a big one for me. She was ahead. I wanted to keep her that way. I wanted to present knowledge in a way where she loves learning. I wanted to keep it that way. I didn't want to stifle that. I didn't want necessarily for her to get into a classroom where the teacher's trying to get everybody to hear and she's here, and instead of being kept here, she's brought here. Very big concerns of mine. So we started this whole wonderful journey. Now, some of the other reasons why we homeschool, why we continue to homeschool. A lot of people are like, wait, are you going to homeschool your second child? Well, yeah, if we sent the first one to public school, would anyone at all ask me that question about kind of naturally assuming that's what the second one would do? No. Well, we homeschool, it works. Until it doesn't work, we'll just gonna keep doing it. So we do homeschool the second child. But some of those other reasons why. I love to travel. We love to travel. We travel as a family. We do have a channel. I'm going to link it right up here, a travel channel. We are headed out in a couple weeks to go to DC, which is going to be a wonderful travel experience for our family, but also a wonderful learning experience for our homeschool. I love being able to incorporate travel into our learning. It's amazing. So do me a favor, head right on over to Suitcase Princess and subscribe so you can follow our travels along. DC, field trips, other fun and amazing things that we've done. We just love it. So one of our big whys is travel. It's easier. It's so much cheaper to travel when schools are in session. You can get a lot more out of what you're doing. I love going to the zoo when school is in session because no one is there, and it's amazing. And you can get so much more value for the dollars that you're spending. Another why. We have never been the people who are like, my husband gets up and goes to work, but Before, my job was kind of afternoon, evenings, weekends, because I was a hairstylist. And so I'm not gonna have clients at 6 a.m. That's not a thing that's gonna happen. So not having to get everyone up and get them somewhere is gold in my book. I genuinely don't know how people do that, and I'm so impressed. I work for myself now. My children are very, very rarely up before 7. So if they were expected to be sitting in a classroom learning at 7:20, nope, not a thing that's gonna happen. This helps our family so much. I genuinely like my children and I like being around them. That's a big why for homeschool. I feel like my daughters are 4 years apart. I feel like their relationship is so much stronger because we homeschool. I feel like they've been afforded so many more opportunities in life and in their learning journey because we homeschool. I love a learn through do, a learn through play. That's why we choose Timberdoodle curriculum kits. And that's why I'm really excited to share with you today this knowledge crate. So I'm gonna cut over and show you some of the footage from that. But let me tell you a few of the reasons why I like this. It is a woman-owned business. Woman-owned business. It is a mom-owned started business, okay? Everyone can appreciate that. I know I'm a work from home small business owner mama, and I really can appreciate that. So I'm gonna show you these amazing things. Of course, guys, I will have a link for you guys down below to save it for you. It's only 4 boxes a year, so it's not too much. You can get one, you can get them all. They also have an add-on subscription if you have a second kid, instead of having to get a whole nother subscription. So thank you for thinking of that, because how many people have one kid? Like, not a lot. Hey guys, so we are about to sit down at the table. My friend, 5-year-old kinder and 9-year-old 4th grader coming up are going to take a look inside the knowledge crate. We haven't opened it, so we don't know what's in here. And just so that you know, again, mom started company, woman-owned company. They started out of a need, out of a necessity during the pandemic to spread some awesomeness. Here, if you back up, you can see. But just so that you know, this is their summer box. They have 4 boxes a year, so once a quarter. It is $78 a quarter or $296 for the annual subscription, but they offer a special add-on for larger families. So you're not buying a full subscription box for each kid. Thank you. Thank you for thinking about that. So let's go to the table. You ready?
Yeah.
Careful, it's heavy. It's pretty heavy, huh? A super cute box. Super cute box. Ooh, what's in here? Oh, look at this. The lid to the box. All their contact info. Oh, look at that. An American flag. Let's see. Ooh, activity guide. Oh, look at that. It's so big it has to be done. Books. What? I was not expecting books. Activity guide. Where do we begin? Anywhere you like. We believe process of activity is more important than the end product. And look, they're coded with what topics they cover. That's amazing.
Mama, can we do this stuff today later?
What do we want to do? Here we go. Do you guys want to look through the book and pick an activity? I just have to say, I am genuinely impressed at the quality of materials in this box. Also, that you can do so many different things with them. We can use the foam dice for multiplication. We can use, what is that? Sunscreen lotion. Fun. The yoga, the books. This is an amazing set.
Because I looked at it and I'm like, wow.
I think this is good value. I want you, please share your whys of homeschooling with me. Share them below. Other people need to hear them. Other people really want to know them. I love being able to teach my children in manners that are not traditional. We can go to the art museum to learn about art. We can go to the zoo to learn about animals. We can go to DC when we've studied the American Revolution, when we have studied the structures of governments. We're doing Texas history this year. I can take them to the Alamo. It is invaluable to me, homeschooling, the reasons why we homeschool, the whys we homeschool. so much of my life is so much easier. A huge why, guys. We don't have to do homework. Do you know that? Yes, technically it's all homework. 2, it's so efficient. We can be completely done with a full days of schoolwork in 2 hours. 2 hours, and that's if it's taken a while. My children can learn through apps. My children have the freedom to just go play. They have the time to go play. One of my whys is huge. We dance like a lot, okay? We're not trying to fit in extracurriculars around school. We can bend school for our extracurriculars. That's huge when we're doing a review week and we are 30 minutes away in the theater district until 10 o'clock at night. That's huge when they have an event or a gala where they're asked to dance at, but it's, let's say, a luncheon on a Wednesday. My kids can go do that because they're part of the homeschool group. There are just so many reasons. We can stop school if life gets busy, and that's pretty gold. We can stop school if an opportunity comes up, like when we got the chance to go to Paris. The flexibility, 1, suits my personality very well, but it just suits our family, it suits our lives so well. So please share your whys. I don't care what they are. I don't care. We don't have to buy school clothes, and I don't have to worry about what they're wearing to school. That's hugely kind of gold for me. I get so much more outdoors time. I'm not saying I homeschool because I don't want them exposed to things, but they're not exposed to like a lot of things. Like my kids tend to use kind of they're not bad words, but like vulgar words. They don't use those because they honestly just aren't really that exposed to them, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They're also not exposed to a lot of like, I want this toy, I want that toy, here's a brand, things like that. I don't have to feel the need to get them a cell phone because they are kind of out unleashed into the world. And so I feel pretty good with that. Share your whys, guys. I hope that you found any of this helpful, inspiring, maybe motivating. Thank you for letting me talk it at you because it's always really nice to remember your whys. And this is for those people who are on the fence, okay? Your why is good enough. Share it with us. We will celebrate you. I am not gonna, unless your why is like so that we can go poach elephants in Africa, yeah, then I'm gonna judge you. But other than that, there's almost like nothing that I'm not gonna celebrate. You know why? Big proponent, guys. I'm gonna do me and you do you. Your reasons are gonna be different than mine almost every time, and that's okay. And I'm gonna celebrate you and appreciate you for your differences. Now, guys, scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. For those of you who have stayed through to the end. So one of the big whys that I've had, I feel like I've discussed this in another video, is that my kids are really picky eaters, and like even in preschool, Amelia wouldn't eat. So she went 2 days a week and she would just not eat. Like it was such a big deal if she ate the lunch that I prepared for her, which keep in mind was foods I knew she'd eat. But there was like this huge pressure to pack certain things, whether or not she'd eat them. So I always felt like I had to have like a dairy, a protein, a vegetable, a fruit. And she doesn't eat that way. So the fact that I don't have to stress about meal packing, meal paying, things like that is honestly one of my huge whys. It is. It makes my life so much easier.